Hey, love the show, y'all. Back spin Sirius XM on the Certified Top 5 Tuesday. We're in the building with a special guest. The one and only Mr. Joell Ortiz is here.
Yeah.
What up, bro?
What's up, man? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Brought a lot of good energy into the room with you, bro.
Yeah, man. I got my brother Illmind in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Il?
What's going on, man?
I'm good.
Honored to be here, bro.
Man, nice to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Joell, man, what's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. I feel blessed, man. Just released my 4th studio album. Illmind executive produced the entire album.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we just out here. We just got back from tour about maybe a week or two ago. We went out to the West Coast and came back. So, this Human album we did, man, it got something special on it.
Tell me about the album, man.
Oh, man.
Because you go into an album, a creative mode with an album with a mindset on what you want to do. You're not the kind of artist that just throws shit up against the wall.
Nah, definitely not. I had came off the tour for my last album, House Slippers, and I was still on that high, that solo vibe. Cause I'm also in a group Slaughterhouse,
right,
with Joe Budden, Crooked Eye, Royce the 5'9". Shout out to my Shady family. So it had been a while since I had did my solo stuff. So after I knocked out the House Slippers out and went on tour with that, and that was received so well, I wanted to get back in the booth. Not necessarily for an album, just to get back in the booth. Mm-hmm. And so I called Ill up because he worked on House Slippers as well, and we've been friends for some time. And I've always said I wanted to rock out with him. And I hit him up, and I was just like, I'm back from tour, man. We should get up. He was like, yo, I'm in the studio now. Come through. I went through there. We had a bite to eat. We kicked it, just regular friends. And, later that night, I recorded what ended up being the first joint on the Human album. But at that time, we didn't even know it was an album. We was just rocking. Yeah. So I'm on my way out the studio. I'm just like, what you doing tomorrow? He's like, I'll be here. And we did that right there 11 times. And gave y'all.
How did you meet Joell?
Man, I met Joell through the homie Static Selector.
Okay.
I was called. Static hit me up to come to the studio to mix. He was working on this project with an artist named Jared Evan. And so Static called me in to mix the record, and Joell just so happened to be there when I came through. So I've been familiar with his work. Prior to that, I was always a big fan, and he was familiar with my catalog. So I was like, yeah, honor to meet you. Take my number down. Let's do some work. So I was like, can you stick around a little bit? I'll play you some beats. So I played him some tracks, and he walked away with a couple. And just from there, we just started working, built the relationship. And
Joell, how did you make the decision to use your name as sort of like your moniker? There's a lot of littles, there's a lot of bigs, there's a lot of this ones and that ones, but there's not a lot of guys that just say, okay, this is my name and this is the name I'm using.
Well, to be honest with you, like I was more focused on making good music. I was just in the studio trying to find myself as an artist, trying out different things, talking about, things I saw and things I lived, and just being very, very honest in my music. So when, I got my buzz up and stuff like that, like I didn't even really have a name. Like the name everybody calls me on our project is Quick. I couldn't go with that.
Right.
Because there's a Quick.
DJ Quick, right.
So this conversation actually came up. Like, so what's gonna be the name? And I was just like, if I start thinking about it, it's gonna sound corny. It's too late. So it's too late to try to fathom.
Were you saying any names in your music at that time?
No, I was just saying Quick. I was just saying, but I ain't never say my name too much in my music, so that was a blessing on the low. And I just was like, yo, let's go with the government, man. Let's just go with the government name, like. And it seemed to have worked. I instantaneously became like, quote unquote, like the new pun. Because of the last, all these kind of attachments came, and I didn't realize that they were going to come. I just went with my government name, but like the Puerto Rican community and Latin community immediately embraced me.
Right.
And it was a gift and a curse, because in the beginning it was just like, yo, son is nice for a Puerto Rican. I was getting that.
Now, what does that mean?
Yeah, I was definitely getting that, or the yo, we gonna let you headline the Latin rap stage. Like, really? Like, I'm just trying to be real good at rap, man. But yeah, that's how my name came about.
Because you know there's not a lot. You got
Right.
even Eric Sermon was the E double.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got Reggie Noble,
Right.
and that was Redman. But when Keith Murray came, he was just fucking Keith Murray.
Keith Murray.
Right.
Yeah, and then there's Joell Ortiz, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, where did that come from? That's dude's name.
You know what's so dope about it though? Like, cause I see a lot of artists like, you know, when it comes, you'd be surprised how much goes into a name, like coming up with a name.
Yeah.
I see like young dudes on the grind, and you know, yeah, this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and they give so much energy to it, and they try to be so different with it. But the best thing about using my name is it's absolutely different.
Yeah.
Right off the rip, you're different.
Yeah.
Nobody else could have it. It's yours. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it was a blessing, man. Like, I'm just happy.
Definitely, man. What label are you on now?
Now, I released this album through Ill's label. I launched his label, RMG.
Okay.
And we distribute it through Empire.
Okay.
I'm a independent. I like the indie thing. Like,
You like the indie thing?
yeah, I like the indie thing.
Because when you was at Aftermath for a while?
Yeah, I was at Aftermath early on in 2007.
Now what happened over there?
It was great. I wrote on a detox. It never came out, but like, but shout out to Dre, just gave us an amazing know joint. But like it was just timing thing. I know how important timing is in music, and at that time Dre was asking me to hold on until after detox, and then I was next.
The Detox never came out.
Yeah, it ended up never coming. I didn't know that at the time, but I just know that when you got steam, you got to keep steam going.
Right.
So I didn't feel like just sitting up for a second, even though, I mean, it was a ridiculous blessing to be on Aftermath because I was shopping, you know, me and my team was shopping to every label here on the East Coast and was getting rejected for every reason outside of music. Like
what?
He's heavy. He's too heavy. You know, he doesn't look that part. You know, he's Puerto Rican. What are we going to do? We're going to just attack the Latin market? Because I don't know. Like, just everything else. But and I'm just like, do me a favor and play number 3 again. Get back to the music.
Right.
Like, you just was in here going crazy, but instead of, like, absorbing that, figuring out the business, and letting the music guide it, you looking me up and down. Like, and I took that personal, man. Like, I was just like, yo, man, I'm never stopping now.
Right.
Like, never. Now y'all done unleashed the beast. I'm ripping everybody's music. Whoever y'all got a hit record on the radio, I'm putting 16 on it. I'm gonna make my presence felt. And then it's crazy because I was so geared at like the labels here on the East Coast, and I got a call from the West Coast, and he flew me out. That's my first flight ever. You know, I'm fresh off the block.
You off the block?
I'm off the block.
Straight off.
I go over to the West Coast. He's like, yo, you know, Dre walks in. Yo, I heard some stuff, man. I really like your stuff, man. Want to be on Aftermath? Like, that was it.
That was it?
Like, that is what happened.
Crazy.
Like, yo, you want to be on Aftermath? I didn't even know how to answer it. I was just like, yeah, like yeah, we on. So, you know, you know, for any aspiring artist listening or aspiring anything, like, just keep at it and worry about, you know, being passionate about your craft, because that's where you receive the blessing from. All the business stuff, it'll work itself out. You know what I'm saying? So
right, yeah, that's an L story right there.
Right.
That's crazy, man. So, how long did you stay there, and when did you leave Aftermath?
I was there for a few months, I would say.
Yeah. Not long, huh?
Not too long. I got there. You know, we immediately started working on some stuff. You know, he also asked me to help out with some detox stuff. So I did some writing and some recording there. You know, I kicked it with Bishop Lamont. He was dope over there at the time. We and him became cool, and we rocked out. So, like, you know, but at that time I had steam from the East, you know, trailing me. Like, you know, there was a buzz. Who's Joell Ortiz? My mixtape was getting, you know, love, and, you know, I was, you know, rocking with all the DJs here, and everybody was feeling, and I just didn't, like, you know, so when we were just like, so what, we have almost a project done, what's really good. Like, it was just like, yeah, I got, you know, just hold tight for a second, and I was scared. Because I just came from meetings where it was just like, what are we going to do? Like, heavy set, you know, like, you're Puerto Rican. I'm like, nah, I can't. Like, I can't, sister. I got to keep at it. I got to keep at it. And Dre was all for it and not for it. All for it. All for it in a way, like, I respect that. Go after it. But not for it, like, but I want you here, dog. Like, you're special. But he let me rock out and stuff like that. So, Shout out to Dr. Dre for giving me my first opportunity and letting me rock out.
Yeah, that's dope, yo. Ortiz and Illmind are in the building with me. Joell Ortiz's new album is called Human.
Yes.
Totally produced by Illmind.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
100%. They got in the lab, met up 11 times in a row on some organic shit and just did an album.
Yeah.
How do you approach producing him in comparison to the work you did with Slaughterhouse?
I mean, they're similar in certain senses. You know, one being that it's, you know, you're going in there as the producer knowing that it's just lyrical mayhem about to happen. So you have to sort of have knowledge in, you know, the types of pockets to create for guys that are real rappers. You know, and
oh, there's a difference?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
but yeah, I mean, you know, going in with Joell was great because, you know, we've known each other, you know, for a while, and it was really just us kicking it and having fun. Honestly, we didn't know we were doing an album until I would say halfway into it. You know, we've recorded 6 songs in a week, and we're like, yo, let's just keep going and make a project. And and we did it. So you know, nothing about the project was forced. It was all just, you know, him coming through to the studio and us laying something down and then doing it over and over and over, like we said. So, you know, the process was organic. You know, with Slaughterhouse was an amazing experience too, because I had the honor and privilege to be in the room with you know, a lot of talent. I mean, from the producer side to the artist side, you know, it was me, you know, A-Rap Music, Just Blaze, Cardiac, and Justice League, just all in the room. You know, we're in
at the same time.
Same time. We locked in.
Oh, this next Slaughterhouse album is special.
So it's all of us.
What did y'all do?
Man,
just kind of locked yourself in the castle some fucking place?
Yo, it was an assembly line.
It was an assembly line. I mean, you had, you know, Justice League in one room tracking horns, and then me and Cardiac are in another corner doing what we're doing. Justice peeking his head in different doors. He's like, you know, and he would come in and say, yo, I like that loop. Let me get that loop and let me put some drums to it and see what happens. And it was just a you know, just a collaborative effort by everyone. And then, you know, the guys were there writing. So, you know, that it was just an honor to be a part of.
How do you write differently, Joell? Joell Ortiz is our in-studio guest if y'all just joined us on the Ed Lover Show. How do you write differently for yourself than for Slaughterhouse?
But that's the beauty of Slaughterhouse, man. I give them what Joell Ortiz would contribute.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So the only thing that's different when I'm over there with them is that sometimes I draw inspiration from them.
Okay.
From the, you know, the lead of a record might come from Royce. He might have a chorus that he's playing for me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I could totally go, you know, get in there with this and rock out. So, you know, as opposed to on the solo side, I have to draw inspiration just from the music, and you know, it has to come from inception. Like, all right, where am I going with this? What am I going to talk about? How am I going to approach this? Sometimes over there I can get the alley-oop, where it's just like, yo, you should probably get on this one on the second verse slot because your tone, and you know what I mean. So it's just like, you know, I don't think anything different when I'm over there. I still offer Joell Ortiz. So the writing process is the same, but the actual recording process is different.